You ever hear stories about the Wendigo? Some say it's just a legend, a ghost story for lonely nights in the forest. But legends like this, they often come from truth. I learned that the hard way. 7 years ago, a group of friends and I went camping deep in the forests of northern Michigan. Remote, cold, isolated. We thought we were prepared. We were wrong. That night, something in the woods showed us the true meaning of fear. We drove for hours until the paved road ended. Beyond that, only dirt tracks and thick, snow-covered trees. We found a clearing to set up camp. Miles from civilization. It was just the 5 of us. There was Greg, the planner, always mapping routes and counting supplies. Emma, the skeptic, never believed in anything supernatural. Sean, our jokester, trying to keep spirits up. And Lavra, quiet, observant, smart, and me. I thought I was brave. We pitched our tents, built a fire, and laughed. We told stories to scare each other, the usual campfire fare. But then Emma mentioned the Wendigo. You guys know what that thing is, right? She asked, staring into the fire. Sean snorted. Some skinny demon in the snow, right? Just another urban legend. Emma shook her head. No, it's real. People disappear in these forests every year. They say it imitates voices, drives you mad before it kills you. I laughed then, thinking it was all part of the story. Night fell quickly. The fire flickered, casting long shadows. At first, it was normal wind in the trees, the occasional animal rustle. But soon, I started hearing something else, not a whisper. Soft, almost like someone calling my name. Alex, Alex. I froze. Did anyone hear that? No, Sean said. Probably the wind. But it wasn't the wind. It was too precise, too deliberate. And then it came from every direction at once. My name. Laura's name, Greg's name. All of them. We didn't sleep that night. Every sound in the forest seemed amplified. Branches cracking. Something moving just beyond the firelight. Heavy breathing. Footsteps circling us. I realized something I can't explain. We were not alone. The next morning, snow had fallen, quieting the forest. We tried to act normal, but tension hung over us. As we explored a trail, Sean spotted it first. A tall figure in the trees, staring at us. Its limbs were impossibly long, emaciated, moving in unnatural angles. Its eyes glowing faint yellow, reflecting the weak winter sun. Its head tilted like it was studying us. Holy, what is that? Sean whispered. Emma whispered, barely audible. The Wendigo. It didn't move quickly, but it didn't need to. Its presence alone made our blood run cold. We backed away slowly, but it began following, keeping its distance, always just at the edge of sight. By midday, we were trapped in its territory. Every step we took, it mirrored. Every path we tried, it blocked. It was not hunting, yet it was learning, studying, calculating asterisk. By nightfall, the Wendigo had grown bolder. It began to imitate voices. Alex, over here. Sean, come to me. We were separated for brief moments, hearing our own voices calling us. I tried to convince myself it was hallucination, but then Greg shouted, his voice distorted, calling Laura's name, but we could see him standing with us. It was impossible. The thing doesn't just hunt your body. It hunts your mind. It knows your fears. It knows your friends. And it uses that against you. We barricaded ourselves in the tents, flashlights, and knives in hand. I swore I saw shadows. Moving outside, stretching impossibly tall, scraping against the trees. Its laughter, or whatever it was, echoed through the forest. Low, guttural, not human. Around 2 a.m., it struck. Sean stepped outside to check the fire. A scream pierced the night. I ran toward him. The Wendigo was there, hunched, towering over him. Limbs like tree branches, claws slicing the snow. Its face, oh God, part human, part animal. Mouth too wide, teeth jagged, skin pulled tight over bones. I grabbed a branch, swung blindly. It didn't care. Its strength was unnatural. Sean barely escaped, dragged into the tent by Emma and Greg. But the Wendigo circled, watching, always waiting. That was when I understood. There was no fighting it. There was only surviving.
At dawn, we attempted to escape. Snow muffled our footsteps, but the Wendigo was faster. It stalked, always just behind the trees. The forest became a maze of white and shadows. Branches whipped our faces. Our lungs burned. Sean tripped, scraping his knee on ice-covered roots. I grabbed his arm. Emma lagged behind, her face frozen in terror. Laura whispered, "It's learning us. It's always learning." We reached an abandoned ranger cabin and hid. Inside, we could hear its breathing outside low, controlled, mocking. The snow was stained with tracks that weren't human, and when the sun finally rose, the Wendigo had disappeared. But we knew it wasn't gone. We made it back to the road, but the damage was done. Every shadow in the daylight reminded us of that night. Our minds couldn't unsee what we had witnessed. And the Wendigo, it had followed us further than we realized. Mimicked voices, footsteps, even shapes. It lingers at the edge of perception, waiting, watching, learning. Even now, I can't drive past those forests without feeling it there, waiting. So if you're ever hiking in the northern woods, deep in the winter, listen to the wind carefully. If you hear a voice calling your name, maybe it's a friend, or maybe it's the Wendigo. Stay alive, stay quiet, and for God's sake, don't go alone.
They say the Wendigo only comes for the lost, the desperate, the foolish. I thought I was just a curious hiker. I thought I could brave the forests alone. I was wrong. This is what happened the night I stayed in the abandoned cabin, deep in the woods of northern Ontario. The cabin was old, almost forgotten. Windows boarded, roof sagging under years of snow. Locals warned me not to stay here, but I was drawn to it. Something about it felt alive, though I couldn't explain why inside. It smelled of damp wood and decay. I found an old fireplace and a stack of firewood. Perfect for a night alone. Or so I thought. I lit a fire and unpacked my bag. Outside, the wind whispered through the trees. I thought it was just the forest. I was wrong. Hours passed. The forest went quiet. Almost too quiet. Then I heard it. A scratching at the door. Slow. Deliberate. Like claws dragging across wood, I froze. I told myself it was an animal, but the sound was wrong. Too deliberate. Too knowing. Then came the whispering. Inside. Inside. No human voice could sound like that. And somehow, it sounded familiar. Almost like my own. I grabbed a flashlight and stepped outside. The snow was untouched, pristine. No tracks, nothing. Then I saw it. A tall, emaciated figure, pale and skeletal, with glowing yellow eyes. Its limbs were impossibly long. Its face, like a human skull stretched over a nightmare. It didn't move quickly, but it didn't have to. Just its presence made my blood freeze. I ran back into the cabin and bolted the door. My hands were shaking. My mind was screaming at me to leave. But I couldn't. Night deepened. The wind outside was silent now, replaced by something else. Breathing, slow, patient, watching. Then came the voices, whispering my name, my fears, my memories. It wasn't just a creature, it was a predator of the mind. It knew me. It knew what I feared most. I tried to sleep, couldn't. I stayed awake watching shadows twist in the firelight. I could feel it outside. Pacing, waiting. Morning never came, or maybe it did. The snow outside was grey, the sky heavy. I knew if I stepped outside, it would strike. I had to survive. I barricaded the cabin as best I could, but the scratches at the walls intensified. Every branch against the siding sounded like claws. Every gust of wind sounded like whispers in my ear. I realized then, it wasn't hunting me for food. It was hunting me for something worse. My sanity. I waited for the Wendigo to leave, but it never did. At night, I gathered courage. I ran. Snow up to my knees. Trees clawing at my face. Branches snapping. Every sound was amplified. I could hear it behind me, moving, mimicking footsteps, mimicking voices. I tripped on a root, fell hard and felt claws brush my arm. I screamed. It vanished. But I knew it hadn't gone far. I ran for hours, my body numb, my mind fraying. At the edge of the forest, I paused. I had escaped. Maybe. But I saw it then, standing between the trees, watching. Its eyes, hollow, infinite. It raised its arms slowly. Long fingers stretched like shadows, and then it vanished into the forest. Just like that. I was alive, but not the same. Something had followed me from the woods. I can feel it still. Every winter wind, every shadow, waiting. So if you ever find an old cabin in the deep northern forest, stay away. Don't step inside. Don't light a fire. Because some legends are real. And the Wendigo, it never forgets. It watches, it waits. And if it wants, it comes for you.